Hey everybody, Daryl and Holly with Exquisite Exotics here. Today's video is about Crested Gecko foods, hence why we have them all set out in front of us. How do you laugh at my intros? She always laughs at my intro. You ever notice that? Anyway, I'm excited. I have a lot of energy.
I don't laugh.
So we wanted to go over kind of our staples, things we've tried, what has worked for us, what hasn't worked for us. A little disclaimer, some of these foods we've only tried once, some of them we've tried multiple times for the ones that we're going to talk about. And we have, I don't know, at any given time we probably go up a little over 100 geckos when we have the mid-season where we have the most hatch, and then back down to like the 50-ish range, depending we're fluxing. So kind of give an idea of how many geckos we're feeding this to. It's not like we're only feeding one gecko and our sample size is one, but we're also not feeding thousands of geckos where our sample size is thousands. So to give you a little forewarning of the info we're going to give. All right, so foods. Two big companies that we use, and you've probably, if you're watching this, you've probably heard of them, Pangea and Repashy. We've tried foods from both of them. Our staples are right here in the middle. The Pangea fruit mix, watermelon and mango, and then I gotta read the bag, sorry, Pangea fruit mix complete with insects. Of all the foods we've ever fed, the complete with insects, Holly, right?
Yeah, that one will be completely demolished. I've actually had a couple of geckos where when it's feeding day, you put it in, by the time you're done, a couple of more, they've already half eaten it. So I think it's the fact that it has chunks of insects in it. I mean, I've seen big chunks
but
of
we're going to
crickets.
mention one that's not so good with insects.
Yes, that's true. So hold on, hold
that thought.
Don't add to cart yet.
so this is our best feeder.
This is our best feeder, followed by the watermelon.
Yep.
I would say.
Yep. So what we do is these are our two staple foods. We always have these, but we always use a rotation of 3 foods. So they get fed the same food twice, then a new food, then that food twice, then new food, then that food twice, and so on and so on. We rotate through 3. Which is why you see the Repashy classic Crested Gecko here sitting, because that's our third one that we have currently right now. But this one is always changing out. So to talk about our third food, we're going to leave this breeder form, this stuff till last, I think. So yeah. This is probably the second or third time we've tried it. Not so good of a feeding response. And this is just our geckos and their feeding response, right? Everybody else, you may have, your mileage may vary. So this one hasn't been the greatest for us, and we've tried it multiple times. We have also, and I'm getting my little note out, tried the Repashy Pineapple Express. We didn't have good results with that one either. So those are the only 2 Repashy ones we've tried. I think we will try the regular Crested Gecko, not the classic, at some point. And I think they might have one other flavor as well.
Yeah, I thought you said there was like a purple labeled one or something.
I don't
remember the name, so
anyway.
Don't worry about that right now.
But those are the only 2 Repashys we've tried so far. So far, we haven't had great results with those. And as you can tell,
I will say is probably more than the Pineapple Express. I feel like the Pineapple Express was like not a nibble.
Yeah. But this has been not so great either. So, not to say Repashy is bad, just our experience with those 2 particular foods from Repashy.
Yeah, we constantly buy Repashy supplements for like dusting.
Oh yeah,
that kind of thing. So like we buy the calcium, we buy the Super Pig, we buy like those are great for dusting our fruit flies that we give to our poison dart frogs, things like that. So Repashy's great. I'm just between the rotation what we have. It's just not
their favorite.
Their favorite.
For the Pangea, we've had the fig and insects, and you were mentioning insects are good, but we actually had really bad results with that one. Like hardly anybody ate it. So that one wasn't so good for us. There's also a papaya one from Pangea and an apricot one from Pangea, and they were kind of hit or miss for us. We had some geckos that kind of liked it, and other ones that were like meh about it. So if I had to choose a third one for our rotation right now, and I wasn't going to try something new, I would probably pick one of those. I'd probably either
the apricot or the
papaya. But we like to have, the reason the Repashy's here is we don't necessarily want to have all of our food from the same company. It's nice to get a mixture from other companies so that you're getting different nutrition, right? Because I don't know what they put in their food, but I imagine that it's got to be slightly different. So I would hope that each one has a little difference. They didn't just copy one another, right? So having multiple different brands allows you to have a more complete nutrition for your gecko, right? So I think, we'll probably try some of the other rapashis that we haven't tried yet. We gave this one like a second or third try this time. See the big container, hoping that maybe, but no, it just hasn't been great for us. So those are all the foods we've tried. We've been sticking mainly with Pangea and Rapashi. These two being our staples. The other ones, like I mentioned, kind of some have been good, some have been bad. But then we also have the breeder formula sitting here, and I'll get to this little tub in a second. So this is the Pangea breeder formula. It's a higher calcium diet. We use this for our breeding females because they're laying eggs. So we supplement this in every other feeding, right? So they'll get, kind of when we mentioned, every food gets 2 feedings before we move to the next food. For our breeders, it's one of those 2 feedings is going to actually be breeding formula instead. And it's great that the breeding formula has that extra calcium, but I think it also makes it less appetizing to them, so they eat it less. So what we actually do is we take a little bit of the Rapashi banana cream pie treat mix. Now this isn't a complete diet like these other ones are. It's the treat mix, and mix it in with our breeding formula to get them to eat it a little more. And we've had really good success with getting them to eat the breeder formula better by mixing just a little bit of this in. So we're not like completely destroying the extra calcium by mixing a whole bunch of treat in there with it. It's just a little bit to give it that little bit of smell, flavor, and then get them to eat a little better. I think I covered all my stuff. Holly, what else do you have to add? You've been quiet. I talked through all that.
You were on a roll, man. I was letting you roll. You see these large bags. I will say this. You see these large bags. I don't know what size they were. Were they 5 pound?
No, they're not 5 pounds.
They're 64 ounces. Okay, so they're 64 ounces. Of course, clearly, like Daryl said, we range between 50 geckos to 100 plus at a time. Currently, I think we're at like probably in the 60 range or whatever, because we're just now starting to get eggs. So these work. I think we bought them in January. They're good. They have very long shelf life. We bought them in January. Clearly, we still have a hefty amount left in these because we also do the rotation. If you don't have that many, they range down from like a 2 ouncer all the way to this is the biggest size. And
is
I guess
this the biggest? I think
yeah.
I think you can get like a bucket. I think
if
they
it's
sell
a bucket,
like
then okay. But if it's a bag, this is already checked on the biggest size on this.
I think there is a size bigger than anyone.
So regardless of whatever
I don't know
it
off
is,
the top of my head.
so you don't have to think like, well, man, I only have like 6 geckos right now. Why do I need to? This is a massive amount of food. They range in size. I think that if you're looking to do this kind of situation setup, start doing like the little 2 ouncers or what is it, 6 ounce, something smaller, and rotate it that way, and just get at least get an idea of some of the ones that have like good feeding response in general. Like, are they just going to eat it, or the ones that are kind of picky regardless? Just to test it out is what I think. If you want to do it that way, for us, even if they don't eat this like gung ho, we're okay with buying the bigger one because we have so many. We need to keep the rotation cost wise. Financially, it's good for us. And they'll eat it. You know what I mean? It's not like they don't eat it. They'll eat it. So, that's just like, I guess, a tip for if you're trying to figure out what to do. I know that some people just feed their cats and dogs the same meal every day, and that's totally fine. Whatever you end up choosing to do, if you choose to only just feed this every day, that's fine. But if you wanted to branch out, that's how I would do it, if that made sense.
And we're talking about variation. We do also feed insects as well. This is just the powdered diets that we use.
Yes, we feed calcium dusted crickets once a week.
Yep. And
I think we were going to try to maybe start doing dubias, but that's a whole other project.
Yeah, no. Crickets for now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I have anything else to add to that, really.
Nope, that's about it. I just, I feel like this was a good time to talk about, what we do. That's one of our number 1 questions that are asked after somebody purchases a gecko is, what have you been feeding it? I want to kind of keep them on the same diet, and really I feel like we're telling them this massive thing that we do, and it's really not that complicated. Just we like to keep a variety. So just figured we'd share it with you.
Anything else?
Nope. You say you talk too much. I talk nonsense. So
you don't talk nonsense. You gave a good tip. Small bags. If you want to try stuff out. I mean, it's probably a tip that most people would figure out on their own. It was a good tip.
Then it wasn't. It really wasn't that great then. He calls me Madden for a reason.
Yeah. Hey, you don't want to buy these big bags? Buy the small bags. There's the Madden thing. Like if you're an old football fan, if you ever watch Madden, he'll be like, hey, if they score 7 points here, or if they score a touchdown here, they'll give them 7 points, 6 points, and then they'll kick it. And if they kick the kick, they'll get the extra point. Like that's the way Madden would. He would just like, man, they really need the field goal here because they're down by 3, and if they get those 3, they'll be tied. Thank you, Madden. So anyway, that's the whole Madden thing. If you ever hear us, joking about Madden, it's because I like Madden, but he would just explain exactly what is going to happen.
There you go.
They really could use a first down here. They just need those 10 yards. Everybody could use that first down in the 10 yards. Everybody, every time. Anyway,
I could go for some football season.
Football, man.
Kind of missing that.
We need some football season. It's getting closer. We're almost there.
Anyway.
Okay. I think that's it about actual
actual legit things that you came here for, not
just not our end of the video ramblings that we seem to do a lot.
Yeah, but that's okay. So hopefully you have success with these. If you've had any other kind of brand that you like or tried or in general, let us know actually, because we're always looking to give variety of food to our animals and just branch out and even help small businesses, things like that. Like we always want to help each other out. So just let us know what you've used, or if you're like, hey, did you try this one? We've never even heard of it before as far as between the two companies. So
okay.
That's it.
Okay. As always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff, and we will see you all next week.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.